We took a little excursion last week. We talked about it on the previous episode that I finally got to see, and she for the third time got to see Sir Elton John in Atlanta
Mhm.
at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and whoo, what a show.
What a fantastic show.
That man is 75, and those hands play the piano like they're 25.
Mhm.
Oh. And it's so I don't know if they had like a GoPro or something that was set up kind of on the side of the piano, but up on the big screen, you could see his hands just go up and down. This man,
Yeah.
just watching him work is
Yeah.
But before we get into the actual thing of the show and the rest of the trip, let me applaud publicly Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Man, that place is phenomenal.
It's beautiful, and it threw me for a loop because anytime you go to buy concessions at a venue, you go in there. Okay, here was our meal for the night. And I'm not going to ask you guys to guess the price because you already know the price. But 2 hot dogs, 2 Cokes, and a bag of popcorn.
Of course.
Popcorn for Jess. Anywhere in the world, anywhere in the US, you go to buy
about 30 bucks.
You got it. 20 to 30 bucks.
Yep.
I walk down there and I'm like, okay, it's fine. Payday is hit. We're good. we're with Elton. We're hungry. I left her in the arena. She's in there having a good old time. I'm hearing the music because I'm just down the stairs. I go in there, grab the food. They ring it up. Boop, $10.48. I'm like, do what?
What in the 1985 is this?
Yeah.
Did you miss something? Did you forget to ring something up here?
Yeah. And I'm like, you've got all this, right? 2 hot dogs, 2 Cokes, bag of popcorn. Yeah, $10.48. So apparently the owner of the Falcons, Arthur Blank, when they built the stadium, one of his things was the fans are going to be treated right. We are going to have very inexpensive concessions. And they do. And the hot dogs are big too.
Yeah, they were good too.
They were very good. That if you're going to go somewhere and see a show, go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and take advantage of the concessions because they are dirt cheap and they are good.
Yeah, and you can even refill your drinks too.
They have machines set up. You don't have to go buy another drink. Just go refill it and go back up.
Wow.
Yeah. Thoroughly impressed with Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And I'm like, well, it's going to be a long time before we come back. And, Billy Joel, Sheryl Crow, and Lionel Richie are all playing there on Veterans Day. And I was like, oh, I'd love to see that show. But we're like, that's tickets going to be too much. We didn't know the price of the tickets, but those are 3 major acts.
Yeah.
All appearing on the same stage, the same night. And so my daughter texted me 3 or 4 days after Elton and it's like, hey, Dad, we got a big favor because I won't let her go with her boyfriend by themselves to downtown Atlanta on a night, So she's like, we know you're not going to let us go without a chaperone. I said, yeah. I said, did you ask your mom? Well, we hadn't asked her yet. Will you go with us? So I'm like, I got to talk to Jess. So we talked, we looked up the tickets and we're like, okay, twist our arms. The tickets were not expensive. To get 3 major acts like that, the tickets were not expensive.
Yeah, surprisingly, I was shocked.
We're sitting up in the nosebleeds again, but we're two rows closer than we were with Elton in the same section.
Yeah.
But there's not a bad seat. There really is not a bad seat in Mercedes-Benz.
No, not at all.
So tickets were after taxes and fees were $80.
Piece. Wow, that's not bad at
all.
To go see,
that's not bad at all.
To go see Billy Joel, Lionel Richie, and Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
Did you go through Was it through Ticketmaster?
Through Ticketmaster. Our tickets to
How
Elton
did you
were only
manage that.
Dude, our tickets to Elton were only $50 a piece.
Yeah,
I got a coworker. With $40 worth of Ticketmaster fees.
Nope.
No,
really.
The overall prices for Elton was $61 or $62 after their fees, after Ticketmaster fees. So I don't know if it's a Mercedes-Benz Stadium thing or these artists realize that they got more money than they know what to do with and just cutting fans a break.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
cool.
We're going back.
That's
going
awesome.
back.
Yeah. So I'm sorry to drone on about that, but I had to give Mercedes-Benz Stadium some kudos for that, because that really caught me off guard.
Yeah,
in a good way.
When I sent him down to get concessions, I was like, well, we're spending an arm and a leg, but we got to eat. And he come back and he said, all this was $10. I was like, I'm sorry. Do what? So yeah, but all praise due. Yeah, I agree. It's a very fantastic stadium.
Yep. And Elton, of course, was just glorious. He played for 2.5 hours, did not hit all of his hits, but everything he played was a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, the man's got what, 50 plus years of a catalog behind him.
Right.
So for you saw him twice. Prior. How was the third time for you?
Oh, just as wonderful as the previous times. And I'm so glad that we had a chance to go and do this, because as we said, this is the farewell tour. He's hanging it up. No more touring after this is over with. So if you want to see him one more time in concert, this is it. And I don't know that he's going to be. I don't think he's playing anymore in the southern area after this.
As we talk right now, he's in Nashville.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in Nashville.
Yeah, I have a coworker. He's there tonight. He went.
But I was so, like I said, so glad we had a chance to do this, and because we missed out when he came to Birmingham, tickets went too fast.
Yeah, and wonderfully so. He's ending his North American tour at Dodger Stadium.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's I think cool. He's playing 2 or 3 shows there at the end.
He's playing 2 nights there.
2 nights, yeah, Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, that's only appropriate, because that's where the big scene, what one of his most famous looks, where he's in the baseball uniforms, the Dodger colors, and he stands up on top of the piano and hits the ball out. That was in Dodger Stadium, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope he gets some kind of like a costume put together to wear like that. Of course, now he's foregoing all the costumes. It's strictly jackets and whatnot. But
he did 4 changes while we were there that night. But they were I mean, they were Elton. They were elaborate costumes or elaborate suits. Yeah. But they were nothing like the outrageous stuff he used to do.
But had a wonderful time. So very, very glad we got to go. And surprised, like Brock said, we're going to turn around here and go see Billy Joel again, which the second time I saw Elton John, he was with Billy Joel when they did the face-to-face here in Birmingham. And I still have my program and my ticket from that show that I went to.
Yeah. So. Why don't you give your newspaper story really quickly about the first time you saw Elton?
Oh,
have you told that on the podcast before?
I think I have. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah. When he came back to Birmingham, when he had not played in like 20 something years, it was right after, it was the Big Picture tour. It was right after that CD dropped, and he played Birmingham, and sold out in less than 10 minutes tickets. That was me standing in line at Magic Platter in Hoover to go get, they had the raffle. You wore the wristband. They drew the number. It was an event. It was an event itself getting tickets for that. But it, like I said, I know I've told that before, but did land me a picture on the front page of the paper with my Elton. They came to the house, did a picture of me with all my Elton stuff around, holding my ticket. So yeah. My little moment of fame in the Birmingham area.
What was neat about the Atlanta show is the fact that Elton lives in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I didn't know he lived there now.
Yeah. Oh, he's lived there for years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. decades. Yeah. He's had a house there. And it was funny. He was sitting at the piano and he was talking to the crowd. He goes, I first played Atlanta 50 years ago or something like that. 40 years ago, 50. Anyway, regardless, he said, I played it 50 years ago, and I did my first show here, and this is my final show in Georgia and Atlanta. But don't worry, if you see me on the street, because you guys know I live here, if you see me on the street, say hi. I'll say hi. And I'm like, what 75-year-old Elton John is going to be walking around the streets of Atlanta?
Yeah. But if you see him, say hi.
Yeah, if you do.
Yeah,
he's easy to recognize.
You never know. I mean...
Bump into him at the vortex or something. You never know.
Look, he doesn't need to disappear anytime soon. And at his age, eating at the vortex would probably do him.
Yeah, you're probably
you pop up at the World of Coca-Cola or something like that.
Imagine running into Elton drinking a Beverly. Oh, this is awful.
Well, getting there was a little stressful, but once we got there, everything was phenomenal. And yeah, I figured just being, not even a mile from where the hotel was versus the stadium. Oh, sure. Yeah. We can call an Uber about, 7 o'clock. The show starts at 8. We'll get there. We'll go right up to the stadium.
Nope. We got into the stadium like 8:06, 8:07, 8:10. And the thing is that the email they sent said, be in your seats promptly at 8. Thankfully, Elton, being the guy who has performed a lot of shows, knows that especially in Atlanta where he lives, there's going to be traffic issues. So he didn't start the show to 8:30.
Thankfully.
Yeah. So everybody got in and got a chance.
I was stressing so
it was
hard.
just him. There was no openers, no nothing.
Right.
Dude, you don't need an opener with
I know. That's what I'm saying.
The Uber and Lyft services in Atlanta on top of the normal traffic was quite chaotic that evening. So
surge pricing.
It wasn't too bad.
No,
leaving the show was a higher price than getting to the show. But yeah, we had 2 drivers cancel on us while we were standing outside the hotel waiting, and Jess just went into full panic mode. It was funny because she's twitching. And they canceled, and so we finally one guy showed up. Reginald is his name, which is funny because that's Elton's real name.
That's right.
So we had a Reginald that came and picked us up to take us to see Reginald.
It was only fitting.
If you're in downtown Atlanta and you need an Uber, and you get if you ever get it, I don't know if they can choose your driver, but if you land a young man named Reginald, you're in good hands.
Fantastic little dude. Yeah.
You're in good hands. He was excellent and funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. So yeah, we enjoyed that. And it's always funny to me with Uber and Lyft because your parents as a kid always told you never to get into a car with a stranger. And here we go.
We're calling them up on our phone, hopping in the car with them.
And our ride home, she was wonderful as well. And I remember we were in the car and I'm texting Kevin. I'm like, dude, Tesla, we're in a Tesla. So, but it was good. But aside from the Elton show, Jess, we fulfilled some little fun trips for her.
Yes.
I chauffeured her around to, where did we go?
Well, while we were heading on over to the Atlanta area Thursday, I had carefully mapped out so that it wouldn't take us far off of our little route, because I am married to a creature of convenience, and and I always kind of honestly, I feel like I'm going to drive him crazy. I'm going to be aggravating, but he's a great husband. He's a real trooper with me in all this. So we veered off the interstate to go take a look at some filming locations for Stranger Things.
Yeah.
We like I said, I kind of mapped it out. So we stopped off in Douglasville, and where the arcade and the video store are, and they're right there. They're in the same building. They're in the same location, right there together. So jumped out, got some pictures of that, and I don't know that if they're going to be using any of this in the next season, but they are doing some construction and stuff right out in front of the buildings. There's nothing inside. Of course, there's nothing inside. It's totally gutted. But on the door where the video store is, there's still some of the lettering there, and you can faintly see the family video, but that's kind of been taken off. But like I said, there's some more of the little vinyl under that.
But the paint and everything on the building still looks the same.
Yeah. So we left there, and we went to go have lunch, and we ate lunch at Benny's Burgers, which is Tiffany's kitchen. But in the show, it's Benny's Burgers. And
what's funny is the wait staff in there. It's just a little mom and pop diner, just like you see in the show.
Yeah.
Little mom and pop diner. You walk in there, and all their T-shirts on the front say Tiffany's Kitchen, but it's in the Strangers Thing logo.
The font. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to sit at the table that was lined up with where 11 sat with Benny when took her into the restaurant and fed her. So got to sit at that table, and the burgers was fantastic.
Good food.
Couldn't that looks like they got a lot of good stuff on the menu. So if you ever want to take a Stranger Things tour and look at locations and you're hungry, I highly recommend going there and getting a bite to eat. Staff was super friendly. Brock's like, man, I bet they get tired of people coming in and out of this place all the time.
But the lady as we were paying our tickets, she goes, "You guys here for the Stranger Things?" Like, no, we're actually, we know this place from Stranger Things, but we're actually going to Elton John. And she's like, well, if you know it, she said, go out back, take pictures, do what you want to do. We don't care.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we walked behind the restaurant and
took some pictures because, the woods in the back where 11 came out of the woods and everything. And of course, there's been other little things shot there. So we got some pictures around the back. And there's a Douglas, there's a little marker out front, noting that this was part of the filming location for Stranger Things. And then we left Benny's Burgers and traveled over to where the Hawkins lab is there at Emory
University. And that building's about to be torn down. So if you have any intention of going and seeing this place, you better go.
Yeah. I don't know when, but they're going to take it down at some point in time. So I've had a lot of people say, boy, it just seems so scary. A lot of people get that scary vibe just looking at it. And my joke was, well, the thing that scared Brock the most was the no trespassing. So
yeah, we hit the big no trespassing sign, and I looked at her and she's like, people do this all the time. Go in there.
Yeah. I was like, people, yeah. It's like the people don't get in trouble, but we only went up to a certain point and grabbed a picture.
Famous last words.
Yeah, that's what I was.
People do it all the time.
Yeah.
All that was if you get hurt, they're not legal. They're not legally responsible for it.
Well, thankfully, the only cars that came in and out of there while we were there was an Emory University bus and the mailman.
Yeah.
So what if they're tearing that building down? I don't know what he was dropping off, but.
So we got to go to, that was all we did on Thursday because of course we had to get to the hotel, get checked in and everything, get ready for the concert. But we got up the next day on Friday and headed out, and I had already mapped out because we were going to end up going to Sonoya to have lunch at Nick and Norman's.
What a shocker.
I know, right? I know you're surprised by that statement. So I mapped out what was along the route to get us in that direction. When we were about to leave, we were starting to type in the address of the Wheeler House, which is the first place we were going to go, and random song playing that came across 80s radio was Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill.
As we were typing in the location.
Totally random. I was like, well, this is a sign it's going to be a good day.
I guess we're going to disappear.
But we did check out the Wheeler House and Sinclair House, which is Lucas's house, and then Dustin's house.
They're all right there together.
Same here. And we were there was a car in front of us with Florida plates, and we're like, well, I guess I know where they're going. And sure enough, they were doing the exact same thing we were doing.
Yeah, and all this is down at East Point. And if you ever go, don't try to get onto the property.
Yeah.
On anybody's property, because there are massive signs blocking the driveways. Private residents do not enter. Guys, I'm just going to say, if you're listening and you're a fan of film locations like we are and like to go to these places, and I would assume most of our listeners are decent people that don't try to go onto people's private property. Don't do that.
Yeah.
No, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
And those people aren't listening to us. Okay.
Yeah, probably not. No. and I hate it for the families, because I know these families are, I know they're getting a payday for letting their places be used, but that doesn't mean they need to give up their sense of life and enjoyment.
Yeah. And my thing is like, I'm thinking that, when they're actually, I can't imagine what this area is like when they're actually filming this stuff, because these are, those are other houses, and this is in a neighborhood. So these are people that, live their normal lives in this area.
And I really have to wonder though, if it's like in Sonoya where The Walking Dead has been filmed, they've had the gates up and the fences up around that neighborhood, which are all gone now because the filming is done. The show's over.
Yeah.
I wonder if they've got the entranceway to these houses and these streets blocked off where the general public can't get in. I'm sure they do. So they might actually have a little bit more of a normal life.
Yeah,
Well, I
we
mean, look at the Breaking Bad house in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, where people will just still to this day will randomly
Try to-
just go throw pizzas on
try to
top
throw
of
a
the
pizza.
roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all blocked off.
Yeah. But we left from seeing the houses and we went to the Hawkins High location.
Yep.
Went to the school, got our pictures there, and then we left.
Which they're tearing that down too, right?
No,
That school, that gym?
no,
They're not tearing that down?
No, not yet.
Well,
I haven't heard anything about it being.
It's in Stockbridge.
I mean, they make it destroyed.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Good.
I'm sure
Yeah.
either the Hawkins
Maybe.
lab. Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to that location, make sure that the shocks on your car work well. That parking lot is a nightmare.
And,
Very bumpy.
yeah, it's it was they had some tape around, like there was a car sitting there and there was some tape kind of like right up where the gym was. So I didn't go I didn't think I wasn't going to go past the tape that they had set up there.
We respect the boundaries like we respect James Spann's polygons.
Exactly. It was really cool seeing the high school. And then we left the high school and
we went to Palmetto, Georgia.
Yes, Bradley. Okay, yeah, let's talk about Bradley's big buy.
I've got if you go to Palmetto, Georgia, this is the supermarket where they filmed, 11, and they're all hiding inside. Number one, buy something when you go there. Don't just walk in and take photos, because these are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
These were some sweet people in that store.
And yeah, be a good patron of the store.
Yeah,
because they are awesome and they will talk.
Yeah, they love to talk to you for sure.
Are you here for Stranger Things?
Hey, we got a book over here. Make sure you sign your name.
Yeah,
and tell
there's
us
a guest
where
book.
Yeah,
They want people to sign the
that's
guest book, tell
awesome.
where you're from. It's up
That's
there by the
awesome.
by one of the cash registers. So
Yeah.
sign it before you leave. It's a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. So the first time you see the store in Stranger Things in season 1, this is where Eleven goes in and she steals the Eggos, and then she shatters the front doors as she's
Which
leaving.
they have the box of Eggos that she had. They've got it in an acrylic case on top of one of the freezers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course I had to get the picture of me taking the Eggos out of the freezer at the store, and then I had Brock take a picture of me lined up to where when she got bit and they went to the grocery store. She's sitting in the aisle there, her and Mike, when they were talking, and Mike was trying to, express his love for her, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the aisle that they were sitting in, I got Brock to grab a shot of me sitting down there in the aisle and kind of lined it up with with what was on the wall, back behind us. So.
And not only is the Eggo waffle sitting on top of the freezer section, but pictures of famous people who have come in, and the autographed pictures of the Stranger Things cast are all sitting up there, and pictures of Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who apparently frequent this area when they're filming.
Yeah,
it's kind of like they're the two that break away from Sonoya, and that's where they do some grocery shopping.
And Andy Lincoln
and Andrew Lincoln, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was
so that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Let me tell you though, I got to tell you about the little old lady that checked me out. I bought a t-shirt while I was there because, like I said, I'm not going to go in this store and not buy something. And they sell cute little t-shirts. This is Bradley's Big Buy
on the back.
And on the back it says the strangest things happen at Bradley's Big Buy.
Oh, that's smart. That's clever.
I was like, I saw that shirt. I was like, I gotta have one of these shirts. This is kind of like the filming location souvenir that I'm gonna walk away with. This little lady that checked us out, she was so sweet because awesome. We were talking about, that we were headed to, after we left the grocery store, we were headed to Sonoya, and she was talking about, she goes, yeah, she said, and Norman, he comes in here, he looks just as greasy and dirty as he does. She said that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he is gorgeous. But she said, he lives close by, but he had
just telling his business. That's all good.
They live. He's got a house out here, and she goes, I kind of feel bad for him because some people kind of caught on to where he lived at, and You know, it's just she just kept going on and on.
Is Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Norman Reedus?
Norman.
Yeah. Norman's got the house out there, but Jeffrey keeps coming over there as well.
He's got a house down there too. At least he did. I don't know if he still does, but you know, they all had residences and stuff while the show was actively filming. But yeah, I just love chatting with her.
And sweet people. And she was not the only one we interacted with in the store.
Yeah.
God, that's a Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah.
People run into those kinds of folks. It's required to have at least one of those sweet old ladies at every Piggly Wiggly.
It's just the way it is. This salt of the earth people.
Yeah.
Good people.
Very nice.
We loved it. And you know what? We're going back. I will buy some groceries just passing through there.
Make sure they're Eggos.
You know, and these people know that's the big draw for them, that people are going to be coming in and out. And I told Brock, I said, he was like, well, I wonder how they feel about it. I was like, look, I've seen photos, people I know that have been there. I've seen photos and then people doing the exact same thing I did. You know, they're going to expect you to go in there and take the Eggos, try to take the Eggos out of the freezer and get a picture.
Yeah.
You know, they expect all this to happen. And my thing
can be.
I know my thing is too, I wonder when we go and see a lot of these filming locations is how do these scouts find these places? Because you would have never thought about a grocery store in Palmetto, Georgia, being on a big show like Stranger Things. It just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, the filming locations are some of them are far away from each other. It's just pretty distant, but we wanted to get up to Rome to see the Victor Creel house, and that was just
that's the big one I want to visit.
Yeah, we just couldn't.
It was too far off of, you know, not where we were kind of the route we were traveling. So there's quite a few things that I would like to see, but you know, just you only got so much time and so much convenience for the routes you're taking. But after we left Bradley's, like I said, we went to Sonoy because I wanted to not only eat at my favorite place in the world, Nick and Norman's, but I did want to go down and see how things were looking since they have taken the walls down and removed them.
Bo, did your Elvira figure fall too?
No, my arm
and it looks really odd down there now that the walls are gone.
It looks like a normal neighborhood.
Yeah, you can see into the neighborhood, and you know, there's a big sign up now. They're going to be putting up more houses that you can, you know, anywhere from the $700,000 range and up.
Yeah. I was going to ask you if they'd sold all the houses. I'm sure they have.
Yeah, they're, I've heard that, you know, the houses are selling, and then they're like, I even heard that they're selling pieces of the interiors from the house. So
that don't surprise me.
We took one of the for sale flyers, the real estate flyers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've got it over here. Yeah.
Can you imagine having one of those as an Airbnb?
Oh, dude, you make so much cash.
My gosh,
then you make a killing.
So much cash.
700.
Sonoya, if you've never been to Sonoya, this is just a perfect little town.
I love this little town.
It is it's a treasure in the middle of Georgia, and they filmed so many things there.
Yeah.
But definitely Nick and Norman's is the highlight whenever we go. That's such a good restaurant. And they've opened one in Chattanooga and Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah. So that was our little trip to Georgia, and I've we put some pictures of that up on our Facebook page as well too, so you can kind of check out those if you have a chance. The Elton pictures and Stranger Things, and then the little our little journey.
Yep.